Now in this problem, they're asking us to look at graphs and interpret function values and find function values. What I'd like to do first is to just walk and talk our way all the way through it and then worry about writing down the solutions after. All right, the very first thing they ask for is S of 3.5. Now notice that the t is being given in minutes, the rate is being given in words per minute. So if I go over to 3.5, 1, 2, 3.5, and I go up to the graph, I'm going to see that it's 25 words per minute. Right, and so that's what I would write down. I would write down that this is asking us for the typist rate at the 3.5 minute mark, and it's 25 words per minute. If I go to S of 6, that's just going to be the typist rate at the 6 minute mark. And if I go up to that, I can see that that's actually a dot of height 50, so that's going to be 50 words per minute. And that's the way I would word it. That S of 6 is the typist rate in words per minute, and it's 50 words per minute. If I look at C, they're asking me to take that smaller value of 25 and subtract a larger value of 50. So what I'm going to get is negative 25. Well, what can that possibly mean? That's the change in the typist's rate from the 3.5 minute mark to the 6 minute mark. So it really is how much slower the typist is typing at the 3.5 minute mark than the typist was typing at the 6 minute mark. All right. S of 10 is, we're being asked for how fast the typist is typing at the 10 minute mark. It's also asking us for the height of the dot on the graph when t equals 10, but there is no dot at t equals 10. As far as we can tell from the graph, the typist stops typing at 7 minutes, right? Since the typist isn't typing, S of 10 doesn't exist. Now, those were about plugging in inputs. When I look at part 2, this is about finding inputs for specific outputs. For example, the first thing says, find all the t values where the typist rate is 35 words per minute. So I'm going to go up to 35 words per minute, which is right here, and just try to find the dots that are that same height. Well, that's this dot and this dot. As far as I can see, this happens at the 4-minute and 30-second mark. This happens at the 6:30-second mark. So that's the way I would answer it. This is asking us for all times where the typist rate is 35 words per minute, and there are two of them, at the 4.5 minute mark and the 6.5 minute mark. When I look at B, this is asking us for all the times where the typist was typing at 70 words per minute. So I go up to the graph, I go up to 70, and there aren't any dots on the graph that are that high. The typist is never typing that fast. So in realistic terms, this never happens. In function terms, we say this equation has no solutions. All right. If I look at C, this is asking us for all the times where the typist rate was negative 10 words per minute. That better not happen, right? I mean, is that untyping? I don't know. But we can look at the graph, and fortunately there are no graphs. There are no points on the graph where the height is negative 10. And so again, in physical terms, this is impossible. In math terms, this equation has no solution. Now, when I look at D, this is looking at and asking us for all the times where the typist rate is the same as the typist rate at 5. Well, at the 5-minute mark, the typist is typing at 50 words per minute, and we want every time that's actually at that same height. Well, there's lots of them. In fact, you can see I'm going to have to include everything between 5 and 6, including 5 and 6. And so that would be my answer to that. All times between 5 and 6, including 5 and 6. Now when I look at the last one, this is asking us for all times where the typist rate is slower than 40 words per minute. So I go over here, and there's plenty of times when the typist is typing slower than 40 words per minute. Starts at 20, goes down, goes up, goes down. And let's see here, at 40 words per minute, boy, I'm thinking, well, roughly, because I'm going to have to guess here, I don't know. I'm going to say the 4.5 minute mark is probably a little bit different than that, but I'm going to live with it for now. And the 6.5 minute mark. And so what I want is every time before the 1/2 minute mark and every time after the 6.5 minute mark, roughly, since I'm just reading it from a graph. Now, if you did what I asked and you watched the whole video first. Go to the very bottom of the page. You're going to see a link called Gobbledygook. If you click on Gobbledygook, you should see all these answers.